And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I know I've been gone for a while. Had some busy things coming up. I'm a busy dude, but I feel kind of. I want to make more videos for y'all. I want to start posting more. We're about to run ads again. My marketing guy I work with, we're about to run ads again. So really excited for that. Really excited that to spread the news about lag snap release. Hopefully big things coming for LSR. Big steps. And ball striking 101 part 2, impact. So I wanted to get this part 2 out there. I know it's the beginning. 2024 golf season's coming. I know we've been all stuck inside for winter. Wanted to give you guys part 2. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've been procrastinating, putting it off. I want to make this part 2 for you guys. Might take me a little while to edit this. This is going to be kind of a longer video because the impact of the golf swing, you know, that's the moment of truth. That's when all the information of your swing gets to the golf ball. The golf ball is going to give you the truth of what did you put into the shot, right? That's the moment of truth, as it's said time and time again. So I want to spend a decent amount of time. So this might end up being a 15, 30-minute video. So hang in there. We'll try to make it as entertaining and informational and interesting as I can. Sorry. You got to think about the importance of impact. People talk about the backswing. I'm not going to stand here and tell you guys that the backswing's not important. The backswing needs to be usable. The backswing provides structure for the rest of the swing. The backswing needs to be usable. That being said, you see good players, they'll be laid off, they'll be across the line, they'll be straight on, they'll be shorter, they'll be further back, they'll be more extended, they'll be more tilted, they'll be less tilted, more turn, less turn. You know, you see little variances in the backswing. Now that being said, you usually don't see people totally coming out of posture. Usually you don't see people going this far down, stuff like that. There is things that are going to make the backswing unusable. But that being said, you know, there's a lot of people that they'll teach impact zone is the most important part of the swing. Totally agree with that 100%. Anybody teaching that out there, I'm with you. That's exactly, you know, and honestly, you guys have motivated me my whole teaching career. But, you know, big shout out to anybody who teaches around this. This is the most important part of the swing is impact right here. Hands down. And everything that influences that's going to be really, really important because you need to hit the ball solid, right? And the impact position is going to determine, is the ball going to go straight? Is the ball going to go far? And are you going to make good contact, right? And that kind of goes along with the distance aspect as well. But to define it simply, the impact portion of the swing is everything from the top of the downswing all the way through. Now, you can use that interpretation, anything in between that and everything right before impact and right after. You know, any line of thinking, I generally define it to people as the impact portion of the swing is everything going through the ball. So obviously it doesn't include address or going back. The impact portion of the swing includes everything going through the ball, right? So that's a good definition for it. So the impact portion of the swing is everything going this way. If you're a right-handed golfer, if you're a left-handed golfer, that's everything going this way, okay? So to a degree, so Ben Hogan would have said, and he said this in his book, I wish I had 5 right arms. So he said I wish I had 5 right hands, but he means arms, right? He doesn't mean this. Tour players don't try and do this. Tour players release the arm. So Ben Hogan would have described it, now he would have described it as a medicine ball throw. But many people would say, and actually Hogan did say this, the golf swing's a sidearm pitch. Sidearm pitch, okay? So we must understand what's supposed to happen pre-impact and what's supposed to happen post-impact. So to create an allegory for impact with the throwing of the ball, I could do a slow motion video on this, but I can just explain this in real time. Going into a throwing motion, there's some basic things that happen. Let's think of a football throw. The first thing you're always going to see with a football quarterback is they're going to step into the throw, right? So the legs are going to go first, and you always see their arm load up. So what's going on here? Going into a throwing motion, this leads, I think we all know that, but this arm loads up. The throwing arm loads up. You know, many have wondered, I'm hitting to the left. Why is it called right-handed? Because you hit the ball with your right arm. You don't hit the ball with your left arm, right? And we'll get to that. So with your trail arm, it's supposed to bend. It's supposed to bend going back and stay bent on the way down. Why is that? So we can extend as we release the club or throw the ball. That analogy, right? So we need to understand that before impact, right here, before impact, we need to be bent. We need to be holding on. And so that post, we can spend that energy, right? Another analogy I like to use is we're in a boat. We're in a boat. Okay? We're in a boat. We're sinking, all right? I fill up the bucket of water, toss the water out of the boat. Get the water out of the boat. You got to release the water out of the boat, okay? So in the same way, when we swing a golf club, we don't release that energy in the boat. We got to get out of the boat and then get it out of there. All right, so there's three functions of a usable downswing, okay? A usable downswing is going to do three things. A usable downswing, number one, it's going to put you in a position where the club cannot hit the ground before impact and hit the ground after the ball. That's number one. Number two, the second function of a good impact position or pre and post impact, everything here, the second function of that is face control. Here's what I mean. If I'm coming down and I release early, this is the most common one. If I release early, often the face is going to get closed. If we do some interesting actions by bending the lead elbow, that can actually hold the face open. And by the way, it's really hard to rotate the face as you're holding it. You're going to have general face control issues if you're early releasing or if you release too late. Very few players do that. And then there's number three. It creates power. Here's what I mean. So if I take my 3-iron and I flip it upside down, you hear that sound happening up here. So that club's speeding up. That club's speeding up as I'm going through the ball, right? So if I have the most common one, an early release, happens in here, and by the time I get to the ball, I'm slowing down, I'm bending. If you don't hold on pre-impact, you can't release as you go through. This is why so many people that look like this here, they look like this here, right? You can't let go. If you let go of it early, you don't have it anymore. So if you release early, you can't release early. Can't release anymore after you go through impact. Not to mention the contact issues that are involved in that. So the other thing I want to talk about is which arm should you use? Which arm do you hit the ball with? Again, dogmatically, I would tell you, Ben Hogan said, I wish I had 5 right arms. Ben Hogan obviously felt that his right arm was hitting the golf ball, right? And again, you think about the definition of right-handed. Hitting the golf ball, this is the dominant motion. This does not create any power. I would challenge you to go to the gym, grab a bar on a cable cross, start doing this. Tell me how much weight you can pull, or whatever you want to call this. This would be a, what is this called? This would be, no, it's not a pec fly. It's a rear delt. You're basically doing a rear delt. Well, I would challenge you, how much weight can you do on a single rear delt? Most people can't do 60 pounds this way. You can maybe do 30 this way. But if you grab a cable like this and you push, you bring in your body through, I bet you could do 40, 50 pounds with one arm. Think of a bench press. That's basically the same thing. You just have 2 arms. I mean, people can do 300, 400 pounds of bench press. I mean, I can't. I can barely do 145. But I guarantee you, I ain't pulling 145 pounds this way. Good players, I mean, you might feel that a little bit. But for your average golfer, there's going to be no power in that motion. You got to get the trail arm involved. All right, guys. So now I'm going to throw the GoPro on. Kind of a new thing. I'm going to show you guys some things from where my eyes are. So I'm going to throw the GoPro on. I'm going to go show you guys a couple of the things I'm talking about. I'm going to get LSR out. I'm going to show you guys a few things talking about impact. I've been standing up here a long time just talking. I know that's boring. Sorry, but it is good to explain things. So you guys are going to get a view through my eyes here for a little bit. So hope this is enjoyable for y'all. Thank you for sticking with me.
What's up, guys? I apologize if the video quality isn't the best. I think this is an old GoPro. Honestly, one of my friends let me borrow this for another function, but I thought it'd be fun to throw it on and just throw it on, show you guys some things that are cool. So what was it for? Okay, so let's define what lag is for a little bit. So this is the lag band, right? This is the green band that I've shown you guys so many times. So lag is when we maintain. Right, so when you see my arms, right, so I have an angle between the center point of my hands and this club shaft right here. I don't know if it's 90 degrees or whatever, right? And LSR is designed when you lose that lag, you know, with the green band. If you're just practicing, it comes off. So what happens is LSR gives you a feel with the band. The resistance is training your lag. So as you lag, this is training and it's also tracing the muscles like the rear glute, the inner part of the right thigh, maybe the right obliques too. It's training the muscles that you need, and also the wrists, the extenders, the radial deviation parts of your wrists. So this trains you to hold. All right, so I mean, I think everybody, you know, and because I mean that's obviously you do that coming down. But real quick, guys, so lag is created in your backswing. Lag is simply the hinge of your wrist as you go back. Lag is just stored up energy, okay? Lag is stored up energy. It's called lag because there's a difference between this, and the difference between those two things, the difference between lag and release is the power. So think of a car. Think of a car, you know, the exhaust coming out of a car, that's not the power. Sorry, you guys are just staring at me talking while my hand's going out. That's not the power itself, but you got to understand that is the product of the power, right? The exhaust itself. The explosion is a sign that power was expended, but that's not the power itself, right? We got to understand that, okay? Does that make sense? So anyway, the band you would actually use for pre-impact and post-impact conditions would be the yellow. So the green I just showed you, that's what I showed you last time with the lag video. So this is going to be, and you know, in my training videos with LSR, I tell people use the yellow band like a maniac. Like this is what you want to really use a lot. Okay. So with the yellow, number one, we're going to train this, what we just did with the green, right? So we're maintaining this angle, and you have to do that to keep the band on. If you lose the angle, the band comes off early. Notice how quiet that is. Notice how quiet that is, as opposed to if I hold on as I go through, if I release later, now here I guess I didn't release very much. I did release my arm, just not my wrist. See that? That's another thing you want to note too. You can release your arm without releasing your wrist, right? See this right here, that's releasing my arm. You see that right there? This stuff, which I'm telling you guys, a lot of golfers, this will kill you if you try to release your wrist. So that's releasing your wrist. And I'm going to show you guys in a minute what that does to contact. That does really bad things, your contact, okay? I'll show you in a minute with a ball the function of this. But pre-impact we want to hold. Everybody see that there? Hold. I'm moving my head around so you can see all that. Pre-impact you want to hold. Post-impact you want to release. Look at my arms. Now if you don't hold, now let me show you what happens. Let me show you what happens. Now with LSR, what's going to happen if you don't hold, you can't release. So you know you released. You know you released if this happens. I'm going to keep my head over here so you can see. This is if you release. Right, you see that band just going back and hitting that bag, and it's really loud. So that when the band hits the bag super loud, you know you've released correctly. But you can only release if you maintain the lag long enough. The longer you maintain, the faster you're going to swing through the ball and release, right? Okay. Lag turns into release as it goes through. It's converted, it's spent, right? So if I don't hold lag, I can't release very well. That's
well,
Guys, it's supposed to be here because from here, the club can hit the ground at the correct point in the swing arm. So if we assume the ball's right here, you have to maintain this angle. Unless, and if you don't, the club's going to hit the ground early, guys. And so this is why people bend their arms, because they break down early, and then you don't have a choice. You have to shorten this thing. So that's why the flip follows the cast. Everybody see that? From the opposite swing, if I cast, see the cast? Club's really close to your ground, then I got to shorten it. And then you look like this, and your arms are super bent, and obviously you don't want to bend your arms as you go through the ball. So lag is not just a way to create power, it's how you make good contact with the ball. Watch this. From here, I have to maintain this to keep the club off the ground during this point in the swing. If I don't want to hit the ground back here, I have to keep the club off the ground. Not only that, but when you maintain the angle as you extend your arm, it's easy. Like, that's how you get a downward angle of attack on the ball first. Why? Because the club's off the ground. And think of it this way. The club right now is pointing down. Okay? So this puts you in position to make good contact. You get that? You have to get that. You have to understand that. Right? And real quick, so I just went over the pre-impact to impact. Real quick, let's talk about post-impact. And then next video, I'll talk more about the release. We'll talk more about the release and you know, kind of relate it back to impact. All right. So I'm holding the lag, which keeps the club from hitting the ground early. I'm in position to hit down on the golf ball. And by the way, guys, this is how you hit driver. No, you don't hit down with driver, but they do maintain, and then they hit up. And I'm going to explain in another video that you still want to maintain your lag with driver and release after the ball. I got the club up off the ground. It goes into the ball first. And then from here, watch this. So the angle between my right arm and the club, that's going to get released. And that's where release comes from. Release happens really for two reasons, because in that situation, we hit the ball first. So now I can let the club go. I'm not hitting the ground first. I have no reason to shorten the club. If I hit the ball first, I can let that thing go and give it a bunch of power, right? I can put my foot down, okay? And reason number two, when you don't release early, you can actually release when you're supposed to after the ball. Or in another sense of the word, if you release early, for two reasons, you can't extend your arms when you go through. One, the club's in the ground, and you can't do that. You got to bend, you got to shorten it because the club is in the ground early. And two, you've already released. You can't release what you don't have. You got rid of it. So what, you're going to try and get it again? No, you can't release. You got to pull in. So at the end of the day, what we have to understand, folks, pre-impact, you got to hold. Post-impact, you got to let go. You got a bunch of wind there. So less windy here. Pre-impact, we got to hold. Post-impact, we got to let go. All right. Now just a very short explanation of this using LSR. So by the way, in real time, this is how fast it takes to put this on. I know I've had this tool for 2 years. It only took me like a week to figure out how to put it on this fast. Yeah, I put it on in 10 seconds, guys. This is so easy to use. I've had this tool literally for a year and a half, and it's still in great shape. I've had these bands for 2 years. They're very durable, guys. This has been in negative 10-degree weather in my car and 110. Like, these bands are fine. All right, so here's the band. So this is designed to get you to feel that you're holding on. So as you hold on, this is going to stretch, right? And that stretch is giving you the feel of maintaining that angle, right? If you don't maintain it, it's going to come off early if you try to go through the ball. That band's not supposed to come off till darn near after, you know, when you're supposed to release the club is when the band releases, roughly. I didn't exactly design it exactly that way, but I got lucky, I guess. So done properly, hold. Notice angle to my arms in the club shaft. Notice my left arm bend. Notice my right arm bend. You want left arm straight and right arm bent. Right wrist is back. Obviously, I've talked about that before. Hopefully I don't have to talk about that again. If you break down with the right wrist, you're going to release early. That's about the worst move a golfer can do as they go through the ball, is break down with the right wrist and try to flex the right wrist or not keep the right wrist extended enough. It's about the worst move you can do going down the swing. That's kind of what flipping is. So we maintain, we hold, we hold, we hold, and then we release. So this is what you want to feel pre and post impact, guys. And I already explained why earlier. This keeps the club from hitting the ground early. This gives you face control, and this gives you power. If you can do this, if you can hold, notice my lower body shifting, weight, and turning, wrist not breaking down. That's as simple as this is. Let me do it with my right arm only. This will look familiar. It's like throwing something. It's like throwing a ball. And yes, you can do this with either arm. You can do it with your left too if you want. Okay? So we hold, hold and release. And the better you do that, the louder it's going to be. Now, next time, what we're going to talk about, we're going to get into the backswing because it's the R band, the release band. You swing back with this. Right? And we're going to talk about more about finishing the golf swing too. We're going to get more into this side of the release. In this video, we really talked a lot about this side of the swing, just to be honest. So really this is impact part 1. There's going to be an impact part 2 and then a release video. So really this is ball striking part 2, impact part 1. No, I don't know. I guess I haven't totally decided or wrote chapters in this book yet. But anyway, so hopefully that gives you guys a good explanation.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed part 2. Although I'm not sure if we're gonna have 2 parts to impact. After I edit this, I'll kind of decide. Honestly, I have a lot of fun doing this. Honestly, a lot of this is impromptu. This one I did plan for a couple weeks making this video. Again, it'll take me some time to edit it before this goes on YouTube and stuff. This will be a longer one, so hang tight with me. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to DM me or email me. My email is on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram. And people that watch this that I want to bring discussion up. I really want to bring discussion among just golfers everywhere. What do you feel through impact? What do you want to feel through impact? Maybe I'm wrong on things. I'm not saying I got everything figured out, But I will tell you, based on real tour swings, this is what you're going to see him do. And teaching golf years and years and years, 6. At 28 years old, teaching 6 years. All I've done since college, nonstop. This is what I understand to be the feel to get to a 2 hours move through back. But I want to open up discussion. I want to see what other people think. I want to get other people's opinions on like what they feel as they go through the ball, what they want to feel as they go through the ball. But at the end of the day, your average player hits behind the ball, swings over the top, open club face to path, slicing. A lot of people top the ball too. A lot of people just struggle to make contact with the ball good every time, right? And I want to live in the world where everybody hits the ball solid every time, And I'm not even saying I totally have the answer to that, but I do want to live in a world where more people play golf because hitting the ball first in the ground is not that hard to do, right? So honestly, if anything, I just want to start a movement that gets the world to love golf because hitting the ball solid every time is as easy as shooting a layup in basketball or shooting a jump shot, right? I don't make all of them, but I know how to shoot a jump shot. It's not that hard. I just made the argument that the golf swing is throwing motion. Ben Hogan would have agreed with that. It really should be that easy, right? I wish it was, But anyway. This is part 2, ball striking 101 part 2, impact. Sorry if the video quality on the GoPro is not the best. It's kind of an older GoPro, but I know probably other people have shot video like that, but I borrowed it from a friend for another endeavor, and I just thought it'd be cool to use here. But yeah, if you enjoy these videos, like and subscribe. You don't have to, but if you want to see more, like and subscribe. DM me or shoot me an email if you ever have questions about what is LSR, what spurred you on to invent the LSR system. Check out our website, lsrgolf.com. Yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions or if you have any feedback. If you think anything I'm saying is untrue, or not correct. I'm not one of those people that thinks I'm right all the time necessarily, although I can feel that way. We all struggle there. But I love y'all. Have a blessed one. Have a great 2024 golf season. Spring is coming. It's coming here in Omaha, Nebraska, middle of the country. And everybody, solid, straight, and far. LSR Golf. Woo!